Hi, ladies. So I just did a live today. My internet tricked me. It looked so clear, but when I played it back, it was the quality was bad, but you can hear me. So listen, just look at it like it's a podcast. Go check that video out. It's all about non-traditional women who want traditional men and how it's a trick with some of the messaging that's being put out in today's society. And it's a very good one. So go check it out. All right, today I wanted to talk about what a provider is. And this is going to be quick, really quick. I want to be clear that, first of all, you should not be online talking about you want a provider. That's a non-negotiable. That's obvious. If you're dating a traditional man, he's going to want to walk in that role of leadership. That's not even going to be something you really have to discuss from my life experience, to be honest with you. And traditional women, I think, understand what I'm saying. This channel really is for traditional women. It's not for, if you have a feminist point of view when it comes to men or dating, it's really not for those women. It's for women that really believe in traditionalism, and we're having a hard time because we live in a modern day society and we're modern women, and sometimes we become conflicted by that. But I do want to combat some of the messages that I see being put online about what a provider is and what a provider is not. And please be clear, my perspective is traditional, it is biblical, and it comes from a Christian perspective. So if you are not Christian, you may not relate to this. You may just want to click off. All right. A provider is someone who takes care of your basic needs, okay? The roof over your head, the lights, the food, things of that nature. You may contribute to that. That depends on the dynamic you have in your house with your husband. That's none of my business. But a lot of women are saying online, I want a provider, I want a provider. First of all, you shouldn't have to say that. First of all, it doesn't attract a provider. If anything, it makes a provider run because it looks bad. It looks like you don't know how to pick men. When you're online listing your criteria, it looks kind of pathetic, and it just looks like you don't know how to pick men. It's not a good look. I really don't think it's a good look. My husband kind of agrees with me. He does agree with me that it wouldn't attract him, and my husband does a lot for me. He's very giving, he's very loving, and I'm very giving, and I'm very loving. And I want to be clear that a provider is not here to buy you Gucci, A provider is not here to buy you Louis Vuitton. A provider is here to make sure that you're building your nest egg, you're investing, you're making good decisions with money, your credit is straight. We're always learning how to be better with money. And we're always learning how to be more responsible and more mature. That never stops. That's a life journey. And I think a lot of women think, you're watching too much Basketball Wives. It must be you're watching too much Basketball Wives, or you're watching these, the 1% of the world who get to do extraordinary things. And I don't know, I might be in that 1%, not because I'm rich by any means, but because I live abroad. I've traveled a lot in the last 2 years. I do dabble in designer from time to time. My husband is generous. He's kind with me in that area. So I think there's more than one way to live a fabulous lifestyle. If you're savvy and you're smart, that's a different video. But I want you guys to understand, I don't look at those things as providing. My husband bought me a luxury purchase the other day. I'll be unboxing it soon on my channel. I just haven't gotten to it. That's not providing though, okay? Providing is making sure that I am comfortable in my home and I have my basic needs, okay? And both men and women do this in their marriages. So this is not a debate on how much you should do, how much you shouldn't do. Listen, that's up to you, that's personal. But I want to be clear that providing is not him taking you on vacations, okay? Him buying you fancy dinners, him, spending all of his money on you. That is not providing. That is being spoiled. Something that I can relate to as well. My husband definitely spoils me. He does. I mean, he spoils me. He does. In more than one way. Like I'm a spoiled brat sometimes. But I think that that's okay with him because he also sees the love that illuminates from me and how I'm always trying to please him. And I always want to make him happy. And I think that he sees that. And that makes him want to do kind, nice things for me. I mean, he just does. But that's not something you get for putting in nothing, okay? Even though these messages are being put out here, it's not something that you get for putting in no effort and you do nothing and you get a great guy that wants to spoil you and do nice things for you. It doesn't work like that. And also, I want to say that if your basic needs are provided for, if your lights aren't cut off, if your husband always makes sure that you have health, my health insurance comes from my husband. All of my basic needs, he is the one that steps in there and says, I got you. And that doesn't mean I don't contribute to our lifestyle, I don't contribute to our home, but it means that overall, he is the one that's making sure that those things are done for me. And I so greatly appreciate him for that. He has no idea how appreciative I try to tell him, but I don't think I can really verbalize how appreciative I am of him. And I think that you guys are getting it confused about what a provider is. A provider is always going to make sure you have your basic needs and that you are building together as a couple and you are reaching your goals and that you're on the same team and everything is one. And it's not the luxurious vacations that I go to or go on. It's not the luxurious hotels I've gotten to stay at. It's not all the nice dinners that I get to have. It's not all the handbags that I can buy. It's not about that. That's not providing. Those things are extra. Those are that's privilege, okay? And some people have privilege. And some of us have more privilege than others. There are people who have way more privilege than what I have. But that's privilege, and everyone will not get that, okay? But if you have somebody that has a good job, that works really hard, that is responsible with money, trying to build, trying to do the right thing, well, you have a provider. And I don't want you to think that you don't. Any other conversations about, oh, he needs to buy me this, he needs to do this, is ignorant. It's ignorant and it's sad. And that's all I came to say. I want you to be clear on what a provider is. It's not, you have to take me on fancy vacations. You have to buy me this bag. You have to do this. You have to, that's not what a provider is, you guys. I mean, it's sick. It really is sick. And I just felt like I needed to say this for the young women that follow me. Just because you see I do certain things or I support the good life, I love the good life, I really, really do. But that is, if I had none of that and all I had was my husband and the roof over my head and decent clothes on my back and Jesus on my side, I would be fine. I am rich. I am rich. My soul is rich. When I die, I'm going to be with the Lord. So there's nothing wrong with wanting the good life. Nothing wrong with designer if you put it in perspective. It's nothing wrong with wanting to live good. But don't get basketball wives confused with your life. Talk to you later. Bye.